Hello friends, in this session we will look some important concepts related to keys, and particularly we will try to relate keys with the concept of superset and subset, and proper superset and proper subset. So we will see whether a particular set of attributes is a key or super key depends upon some fundamental concepts of set theory. See, first of all, what we will do, we will start with this example. We will take all possible keys, then we will determine the subset and superset relationship between all the keys, and then we will try to determine which of the set of attributes is a key and which set of attributes is a super key. So first of all, let us start determining all possible keys. So first of all, you can see that x alone, all the values are different, therefore x alone will be a key. So first key that we obtain here is x. So k1 is equal to, now I will be writing down it in set theory notation. So k1 is equal to x. Okay. Now we will check y alone. Now y alone cannot be called as a super key because there is repetition of attribute values, and similarly z alone cannot be called as a super key because again there is a repetition of values. 3 and 3 are repeating, 4 and 4 are repeating. So y alone, z alone cannot be called as super keys. Now let's check combination of two attributes. Okay. So first of the combination will be xy. Now xy combination is unique in all the tuples, and therefore xy can be called as a key. So that is the second key that we discover here. So I will write down k2 is equal to x comma y. Now here particularly and purposefully we are using the set theory notation because we want to relate these two things. Okay. Now we will check the combination x z. Again, because x is a super key, xz will also be a super key, and therefore k3, the third key that we discover here, will be x and z. See, you should remember only one thing right now. Whenever the combination is unique, we will call it a key. Okay. Then super key distinction we will make it later on. Okay. So xy we have checked, xz we have checked. Now let us see whether yz is a super key or not. So again 1 2, 2 3, 2 4, 3 3 and 3 4. All the combinations are different, and therefore yz can be called as a key. So that is the fourth key that we have discovered. So k4 is equal to y comma z, and after that, so we have checked x alone, y alone, z alone. Okay. So when we talk about single attribute, only x will be the key. When we talk about two attributes, you take any two attributes that will form a key. So xy as well as xz as well as yz is a key, and let us take all three attributes together. So all the tuples are different: 1 1 2, 2 2 3, 3 2 4, 4 3 3 and 5 3 4. All combinations of three values are different, and therefore all the three attributes together will also form a key. So that is the fifth key that we have discovered. K5 will be equal to, say, x comma y comma z. Okay. So here we will look at keys as a collection of attributes or as a set of attributes. Now you can observe that key can contain any number of attributes. For example, k1 is a single attributed key, k2, k3, k4, k5 can be called as multi-attributed key. So that is one thing. A key can be single attributed or it can be multi-attributed. Okay. So examples are with us: single attributed and all others are multi-attributed. Now let us try to see what are the relationships, superset and subset relationships between them. Now see, every set is a subset of itself and every set is a superset of itself. So what we can say, that k1 is a subset of k1 and k1 is a superset of k1. Okay. Then k2 is a subset of k2 as well as superset of k2. That is a very fundamental rule of set theory. Every set, any set will be a superset of itself and it will be also a subset of itself. But right now what we want to do, we will write down all superset and proper superset and proper subset relationship. So see, we can write down that k1 is a proper subset of k2. You can see here k1 is a subset of k2 because all the elements of k1 are present in k2, plus k2 has got an additional element y, and therefore k1 will be called as a proper subset of k2. Okay. Similarly, K1 will be a proper subset of K3. Okay. Then K1 will be a proper subset of K5. After that, let's check other attributes, say K2. Now K2 is a proper subset of K5. Then K2, okay, only one proper subset relationship is there, and finally K3 is a proper subset of K5. Okay, so let's be very clear here. I am not writing down the superset and subset relationship. We just want proper subset and proper superset. Okay, and the relationship will work in both the directions. So when K1 is a proper subset of K2, then K2 will be a proper superset of K1. So subset and superset is one concept, and proper subset and proper superset is another concept. So when you say that K1 is a proper subset of K2, it means K1 is a subset of K2 and K1 not equal to K2. So whenever we have this relationship like A is a subset of B and A not equal to B, in that case A will be called as a proper subset of B. Okay. So what does that mean? All the elements of A are present in B, and because A is not equal to B, that means B contains some additional elements, and therefore in this case A will be called as a proper subset of B. So we have written all this relationship. There is no other proper subset relationship present here. Now based upon these things we can determine which of the key is a super key and which of the key is a key. Okay. Now see, if you want to check K1, so okay, let's go here, K5, let's check K5. Now there is a proper subset of K5 which is a key. Okay, and what is that proper subset? We have got K3, we have got K2, we have got K1. K1 is a proper subset of K5, K2 is a proper subset of K5, and K3 is also a proper subset of K5. See, what we are doing, we want to check whether K5 is a super key or not. Okay, and for that, or whether K5 can be called as a key or not. Every key can be called as a super key, but can we call K5 as a key or not, that we want to check. Okay, therefore what we will see, we will check whether any of the proper subset of K5 is a key or not. Now K5 has not got just one, but K5 has got three proper subsets, K1, K2 and K3, which are keys, and therefore K5 cannot be called as a key, and therefore K5 can just be called as a super key. So as far as the key is concerned, K5 cannot be called as a key. Similarly, let us check K4. So as far as K4 is concerned, let's check whether any set is a proper subset of K4 or not. Okay, so here no set is a proper subset of K4. Okay, K4 is not coming to the right hand side. Here we have got proper subsets K1, K2, K3 as proper subsets of K5. We have got one proper subset of K3 and we have got one proper subset of K2. There is no proper subset of K4 which is a key, and therefore K4 can be called as a key. Now let us check K3. Now K3 has got a proper subset which is key. Okay, and therefore K3 cannot be called as a key, K3 can be called as a super key. So we cannot call it a key. Then let us check K2. Again K2 has got a proper subset which is a key, therefore K2 cannot be called as a key. And let us finally check K1. So there is no proper subset of K1 which is a key. And anyways, K1 is a single attributed set. It's a singleton. Any set with single attribute is or single element is called as a singleton set. Now K1 has got only one attribute, and therefore if you try to form proper subset of K1, you will get empty set, and empty set cannot be a key. That is why the condition is satisfied. What is the condition? No proper subset of K1 is a key, and therefore K1 can be called as a key. Okay, so what is clear from this example, that even though the given relation has got 5 super keys, all of them can be called as super key, but only 2 of them can be called as keys. And the reason K1 and K4 can be called as a key, because there is no proper subset of K1 which is a key, therefore K1 is a key, and there is no proper subset of K4 which is a key, therefore K4 can be called as a key. Then why K2 is not a key? Because there is one proper subset of K2 key, and that proper subset is K1, and therefore K2 cannot be called as a key, and therefore K2 must be called as a super key. Similarly, let us check about K3. Now K3 has got one proper subset K1 which is a key, therefore K3 again cannot be called as a key, K3 should be called as super key. And finally K5 has got 1, 2 and 3 proper subsets which are keys, and therefore K5 cannot be called as a key, K5 must be called as a super key. Now see, whenever any key has got some another key, some another proper subset as a key, it means that there is a gap. See, why K3 is a subset of K5, why K2 is a subset of, why K2 is a proper subset of K5, and why K1 is a proper subset of K5. You should think upon the concept of proper subset. Okay, let's check one by one. Why K1 is a proper subset of K2? Because all the elements of K1 are present in K2, and there is a gap between K1 and K2. What do I mean by gap? There is an element which is present in K2 but not present in K1. And what is between K1 and K2? The gap between K1 and K2 is because of Y. This attribute Y creates a gap between K1 and K2, and therefore K1 can be called as a proper subset of K2, and K2 must be called as a proper superset of K1. Now this gap indicates that okay, this gap is because of Y. Okay, and what does that mean? This K2 has got an additional attribute Y, and therefore K2 has got a redundant attribute, and therefore K2 cannot be called as a minimal, and that is why K2 cannot be called as a key, K2 should be called as a super key. See, all these things are related. I will repeat it once again. All the elements of K1 or all the attributes of K1 are present in K2, plus there is an attribute Y which is present in K2 but not present in K1. Attribute Y creates a gap between K1 and K2. Okay, so K2, as far as K2 is concerned, attribute Y is redundant, attribute Y is not needed, because even if you remove attribute Y from K2, you get K1, and K1 is a key. Therefore K2 is not minimal, therefore K2 is not key, therefore K2 is a super key. Similarly, there is a gap between K1 and K3, and the gap between K1 and K3 is because of attribute Z. So K3 has got a redundant attribute called as Z, therefore K3 is not minimal, and therefore K3 cannot be called as a key, K3 can be called as a super key. Similarly, there is a gap between K1 and K5, and the gap between K1 and K5 is because of the attributes Y, Z. And what does that mean? K5 has got two redundant attributes Y, Z, and therefore K5 cannot be called as a key, K5 must be called as a super key. Similarly, there is a gap between K2 and K5, and that gap between K2 and K5 is because of the attribute K2xy, because of the attribute Z. Okay, and therefore, but K2 is not a key, K2 is not a key, we should have gone for K4, fine. Okay, there is a slight mistake here, K1 we can K4 here. Now K4 is a proper subset of K5, and the gap here is because of attribute X, and therefore K5 is not minimal, and therefore K5 must be called as a super key, K5 cannot be called as a key. Because of similar reason, K5 again cannot be called as a key. So this is just another angle to check whether a given set of attributes is a key or a super key, and for that you should try the concepts of proper subset and proper superset. Okay, and another important thing that we should note here is that super key as well as key can be multi-attributed. Okay, what does that mean? So let's count how many super keys are there, how many candidate keys are there, or how many keys are there. So initially all of them are keys, K1, K2, K3, K4, K5, therefore the number of super keys will be equal to 5, but the number of keys is just equal to 2. Okay, and therefore what we can say, K1 is a key which is consisting of single attribute, K4 is a key which consists of multiple attributes. So what does that mean? A key can be single attributed or multi attributed, and a super key can be single attributed as well as multi attributed. So K5, K2 and K3 are example of super keys and they are multi attributed. So that means a super key can be multi attributed. K1 can also be called as a super key, single attribute. So what does that mean? That a super key can be single attributed. Then K1 is a key single attributed and K4 is a key multi attributed. So what do I mean to say? Single attributed keys are possible, multi attributed keys are also possible, single attributed super keys are also possible, and multi attributed super keys are also possible. So I mean to say a super key can be single attributed or multi attributed, and similarly a key can be single attributed or multi attributed. And apart from that, what I would like to say one more thing, if K1 is a key, then every proper superset of K1 will be a super key and it cannot be called as a key, super key only. So K1 is a superset of K1, no doubt, but what are the proper supersets of K1? So proper superset of K1 is K2 because of this additional attribute, and another proper superset of K1 is K3, yet another proper superset of K1 is K5. So K5, K3 and K2 are proper supersets of K1. K1 is a key and therefore K2, K3 and K5 cannot be called as key, they must be called as super keys. Okay, so the rule is every proper superset of a key will be a super key and it cannot be a key. Okay, so you should summarize all these rules. I will just summarize the rules once again. Every superset of a key will be a super key. Okay, every superset of a key will be a super key. Every proper superset of a key will be a super key but not key. Then every superset or a superset of a key may be a key or may not be a key. If you add additional attributes to a key, then it will become super key. Okay, so let us be very clear with this. You try to relate super keys and keys with supersets, subsets, proper supersets and proper subsets. Thank you.